Iran is now at a war of words with Washington. The Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard charging that the U.S., they're saying, had false narratives and unprofessional behavior. That's what their words are. This comes just 24 hours after a U.S. warship fired warning shots, 30 warning shots actually, at 13 Iranian patrol boats coming at a high speed toward an American naval patrol in the Persian Gulf. But then on April 2nd, a similar incident happened, making it the first time in more than a year that Iranian vessels have harassed American ships in that area. Joining us now to talk about what Iran is up to is Virginia Congressman Rob Wittman of the House Armed Services Committee. Thank you so much for joining us.
Heather and Bob, great to be with you. Thank you.
You know, Bob and I were just discussing a short time ago about all the provocative actions, whether it come from words or what they're physically doing from Iran. What do you think that they're up to?
I think Iran is always probing, always testing, looking at what the United States will do in reaction to them. They also want to make sure they create uncertainty in one of the critical choke points in the world, that is the Straits of Hormuz. We know that 17 million barrels of oil move through the Straits of Hormuz every day. Luckily, only about 2 million of those barrels come to the United States, but other nations around the world rely on the energy that comes out of that area. Creating this uncertainty, going after American naval interest in the area is meant to probe. It's meant to create uncertainty. It's meant to show that Iran will look to disrupt operations in that critical area of the world.
As a general approach, what do you think the administration should be doing to appropriately respond?
Well, the administration should do exactly what the Navy did, and that is an immediate response, but then diplomatically go to Iran and say that this behavior is absolutely unacceptable and that we will respond forcefully and immediately if our interests are in danger there. As you know, the USS Georgia, which is a submarine, a strategic submarine that's in that area, was being escorted by 6 U.S. Navy ships when these 13 Iranian gunboats came dangerously close to that critical guided missile submarine. And we responded, which we should. We're going to protect our interests there. Iran is looking to see what we will do and what we won't do. Strong action to Iran's actions is what we need to be doing to deter any further aggressive behavior.
Yeah, this comes on the heel of the U.S. Navy seizing the Yemen-bound ship that had weapons that likely came from Iran as well.
Yes, this is probably a pushback from Iran saying, listen, if you're going to do that, we're going to push back. We're going to, again, look at endangering your assets there. Strong response from the United States is critical so that Iran understands what we will do and that we will be a strong force in that region. We are not going to allow them to destabilize the area. We're not going to allow them to interfere with our interest or international interest in commerce through the Straits of Hormuz.
Can we bring that picture up, though? I think we have a video of that because it was remarkable looking at all of those weapons that were on that ship.
Yeah. As we do that, I was curious, Congressman, whether you think there are other countries behind Iran encouraging them or supporting them either financially or militarily or politically.
Well, I think they have common interest in the region. As you know, there's always a Shia-Sunni division in that particular region. And the Iranians are looking to protect their own interest and also to, I believe, project their interest in the region. And they do that by asserting their forces. And you look at what they've been doing to grow their forces. They have accumulated a number of military assets recently to be able to do just that, to push back against U.S. interests. But I think it's not just U.S. interest. I think it's other interests in the region that would in any way, shape, or form contest Iranian presence in the region, to contest Shia presence in the region. I think Iran is looking to be the dominant power in the region, and they do that by asserting themselves in just the way we saw against U.S. naval forces.
And then, was it over the weekend in Iraq, the Iranian embassy was burned as a result of what some were alleging the Iranians, killing an activist, a Shia activist there in Iraq.
Yeah, you see Iran looking to, again, assert their influence anywhere they can within that particular region. It is indeed an effort to look to destabilize, to make sure they intimidate others in the region so that others won't push back against them. They want to expand their power in the region. They want to bully their neighbors. They want to deter their neighbors from pushing back against them. This is all a pattern of behavior. And it goes right back to also their efforts in building a nuclear capability there. We know that they are resolved to build a nuclear capability, and I think we'll do that regardless of what agreement they might or might not have with the United States or other nations that are interested in them reducing or stopping their building of a nuclear capability.
We only have about 15 seconds. How far away do you think they are from that nuclear capability of weapons?
Listen, I think as they begin to spin things up, I think they can get to that point very quickly.
All right.
I hate to push it. Quickly meaning 6 months, 3 years?
If I had to estimate, of course, a lot of this is classified, but I would say in the short term, which would be less than 12 months.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, Congressman Wittman, I wish we weren't out of time because I got a lot more questions for you after that statement. Thank you. Thank you, though, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right.